Have you been thinking about all the goals that you originally set at the beginning of the year and finding yourself not even close to achieving one just because life has been lifing and now you're doing your best to focus on how you can finish the year strong? Well, today I wanted to talk to you guys and give you a little bit of encouragement as well as a few tips to help you focus on ending the year strong. Now, this may not be what you were thinking, but I really hope that today's conversation brings some encouragement as well as shed some light and give you hope towards the end of the tunnel. So, if you are someone who is struggling with overcoming what 2023 has kind of brought to you and trying to refigure your way back into the game, and so that way the end of the year is not a total loss, then don't worry, sis. I got you. We're going to dive into this together. So, if this is your first time tuning in with me, welcome. My name is Apollonia Cross, and I am a life coach who specializes in helping mompreneurs learn how to manage and improve their self care as they're growing and raising their busy families. So, I have been in a bit of a in and out season of life right now personally, and I kind of shared that yesterday when I had shared a post. But I wanted to be honest about where I was currently at because although we're here on social media or we hold big, positions at work or whatever the case may be, we all had this idea of how the original year was going to go. We all set big goals, the new year, new me, big goals and dreams for this year. And if you got your vision board up and maybe, you've been planning and really fighting to try to stay encouraged and stay positive and still trucking along with reaching those goals, but you just couldn't shake the funk and all of the things that was happening this year, you're not alone. And that's okay. Sometimes what happens is we try to operate and make things happen on our own strength instead of trusting and choosing to work in alignment. Now, there is a season to hustle and grind, but there's also a season to where there is a time to plant seeds, or sometimes there's a time to cultivate, right? Sometimes we got to dig up some of the things that brought us to where we currently are that can no longer go with us to where we're going. And so that takes time. You cannot try to do everything at once. This is where that burnout and that overwhelm really, really kicks in. And maybe that's kind of what may have caused you to feel in and out, right? And so if that is something that you've been struggling with, here's a few things that you can do so that way you can end the year strong. And again, first and foremost, strong looks different for everyone. If you are a product-based business, or you are a coach like me and you're getting ready to launch a program, all of the things, wherever you're currently at in your business or even family life, like we're getting ready to go into the most chaotic season of the year every single time, right? Holiday shopping, Christmas shopping, product launching, marketing, all of the things are happening all at one time. So if you do not go into this game with the right mindset as well as the right focus and intentions, the weight and the pressure of everything crumbling on you is going to possibly cause you to break. So I wanted to give you a few tips to kind of help you with that. And so this way we are a week out from Black Friday and Thanksgiving and going straight into Christmas shopping and all that, unless you've already got a head start. If you did, good for you. But either way, these tips, no matter where you currently are at in life, in personal or in business or even just family season of life, it doesn't matter where you're at. These tips are going to help you reassess and get clear on exactly what it is that you want to do, as well as help set you up so that way you can move forward in alignment and with confidence that you need to go ahead and push through. So, all right, you guys, I'm excited to get in this topic. Let me know where you're at in the world and make sure you post in the comments below as I'm going on the video if these tips are helpful for you. And the very first one that I wanted to share with you is assess where you're currently at and compare it to where you originally wanted to go, right? Like, so I want to address the issue of comparison, right? Because sometimes comparison can cause us to feel less than or feel like we're not good enough. We didn't try hard enough. We could have done better. We should have done. Like, all right, yes, there can be a number of things of shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? That we could have done better, should have done better, and all of those things. However, how you handled everything was the best that you had at the time. It really was. So instead of beating yourself up about it, and looking at your goals like, dang, I really didn't get this done. I could have done this. I should have. And maybe I could try to push it and make it happen. I mean, hey, we got 45 days, 46 days till the end of the year of the time of this video, right? You can make a lot happen in 45 days. However, right? If that's what you're going to do and what you want to focus on, you need to also address all of the potential possibilities of what you're going to need to sacrifice if you so choose to push yourself to reach the goal. And this is where most people do not do. They always only focus on the goal and say, I'm going to do this, but they don't calculate all of the things, right? It's one thing to focus on the surface level, the top of the mountain, and then miss all of the climbing that needs to happen to get to the top of the mountain, right? Like you don't know what's around that mountain. So, and we're not going to know every single thing, right? But we can possibly think, what are those things that could derail me? What are the things that I can do to help me kind of minimize my lack of focus, and where I can get help with cooking meals, where I can get help with the late nights I might be needing to take, what days am I going to need to meal plan, right? So that way I'm not worried about trying to cook and make dinners for my family, so I can dedicate those hours to working or working out. Like whatever your goal and your focus is, you need to have a really assess where you're currently at in comparison to where you're trying to go, and then what it's going to take for you to get there. Okay. And so that kind of ties into the second option, is pausing and reflecting, right? Like you want to take that moment to pause and look back, though, too, not just about what it's going to take for you to get to this goal, right? But again, we've had 10 and a half months of work that we have put in. Okay. What are some things that you can celebrate and honor that you did achieve? Maybe you didn't get anything on your original goal list, right? Like I have 3 goals that is currently on my desktop that I originally set for this year, and I have not hit one of those. However, there were some things that I did achieve that are in alignment to helping me reach those goals. Do you get what I'm saying? So sometimes we focus on the shiny object and the trophy, and we forget to celebrate and honor the work it took to even start the journey and even and go along as far as we did in the journey, right? So it's not always about getting the trophy. It's not always about getting the bag. It's not always about getting the award, right? All of those things are great. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes you have to really shift your focus, especially if you want to stay in the game, whether it's like I said, whether it's a weight loss goal, a financial goal, a family goal, or business goal, right? We don't know what the year is going to throw at us. We are currently in a recession. So a lot of people are doing a lot of cutbacks. People aren't spending as much, right? Depending on what your market is and where you're focusing on, right? A lot of families are trying to choose to be more mindful and intentional with where they're spending their money and make better choices and blah, blah, blah. And so maybe what you originally projected and thought you was going to be able to do at the beginning of the year isn't where you're at, but maybe you actually gave yourself the opportunity to pivot, and you were able to save yourself more headache and loss than what you would have if you didn't make that pivot, right? So making sure that you're pausing and reflecting on the things that you have been able to accomplish and celebrating yourself for that, right? As you're looking at what it is that you want to do at the to make sure you end the year strong with hitting your goal, right? Now, this is a big one. I kind of mentioned it the last one, is pivot, right? So you want to assess where you want to go in comparison to where you said you originally want to go. Wait, let me bleh. I don't know what's going on with me today. I don't drink coffee, so it's not like an overload of caffeine. I just do tea. Um, but for some reason, my words are fumbling a little bit today. But, anyways, thank you for bearing with me. All right. So, you want to pivot. And this is where you can be like, all right, like I originally said, I had 3 goals, big goals that I really want to hit this year. And it didn't happen. Right. No, not going to beat myself up. Going to celebrate the changes and things that I did make towards in alignment with where I want to go. Right. But I'm going to, instead of trying to rush to do whatever I got to do to try to make sure I hit all 3 of those goals, I'm going to focus on the number 1 goal out of those 3. Right. And do the best that I can to make that goal happen. Right. And when you're doing this, right, you want to pivot and say, what can I do? What is going to be the most valuable thing that I can do for myself in this time, right? And how can I go all in on this one thing, right? So that's what I mean by pivot. And then again, I'm like going right into the next thing, but focus on the one, right? Like cut all of the other stuff out. Yes, we got a whole list of goals and a list of crap to do that never ends, right? And with kids and husband and family life and all of the things, the list just keeps growing. So, what is the one goal? What is the one thing that you can focus on doing for yourself so that way you can make sure that you reach your goal? And so that way you feel fulfilled, that you feel accomplished, right? In working towards the one thing that you actually want to make sure that you execute and feel accomplished before this year is over. What is that one thing that you can actually focus on and get done, right? And unapologetically go for it. Just go for it. And sometimes it's very difficult, right? Especially if you're an overachiever and you're like, but I wanted to do all this and blah, 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 blah. It can be very difficult to let your original plan go, right? And that's okay, right? Give yourself a few minutes to just process it, be like, dang, I really wish blah, 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 blah. And then just pray and give it to Jesus. Seriously. And that's honestly what you got to do. Just be like, look, Jesus, I need you to help me narrow this down and help me hone in on the one thing that I'm trying to focus on achieving before the end of this year. Please create in me a clear mind and a focused line. Show me the light at the end of the tunnel so I can have peace and swift direction and guidance directly from you to make this happen. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. Right? Whatever you got to do. Once you give that to him, let it go, be happy and be like, okay, am I am good, right? And so those are some tangible steps that you can do for yourself if you're really wanting to really focus on your goal, right? And at least pick one of the main goals that you weren't able to hit at the beginning of the year and go ahead and execute and try to make that happen. That's one way that you can make sure you end the year strong, right? Another way that you can make sure you end this year strong is this remembering what time of the year it is, right? This is the season of life and the season of the year where we want to, although the world is trying to tell us to buy this, grab these deals and all of these things, or push for these goals. You only got this much. Like, there's nothing wrong with all of that. But maybe you have had a very exhausting year. And maybe you just want to regain your peace and focus on being fully present and happy to enjoy your family this end of the year. That is a great pivot. It truly is, because nothing can give you peace. Like, you can acquire all of the things, you can achieve all of the goals, but if you still don't have peace within of yourself, none of those things will bring you peace. Okay? And so maybe if you've had such a very busy and stressful year, maybe this is where you pivot to say, I release all of these things for this season, right? And I'm going to intentionally choose to pour back in to myself for the remaining 45 days of the year, right? And maybe through the new year for a little bit. That's something that I actually like to do. I like to spend the first 1 to 2 weeks kind of just recouping from all the busy of all the holiday events, kids, and blah, 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 because that can be very, very draining, right? Depending on how many kids you got. I got 4. So lots of energy goes to all of that, right? And that's okay. And so maybe you want to take from today through January 15th to really just focus on refilling your cup, being present, and being happy, and focusing on making sure you keep your light lit during this season, right? Pour back into yourself by redeveloping and rebuilding some family bonding time with your kids. Start projects, like just draw together, what like whatever you want to do, if that's what you want to focus on, right? That's completely okay. Again, your choice to end the year strong is your choice, and how you choose to end the how you choose and how you defined being strong is up to you. No one else can define that for you. And especially the beauty about motherhood and mompreneurship, this is the beauty and the curse, right? There are different seasons and there's different times on how we have to choose to operate our businesses as well as operate as mothers, right? Because it's going to change. If you have little ones, you are not going to be able to dedicate long hours to the hustle. You could try. You could definitely try. And especially if you have quite a bit of help, you might be able to pull it off, right? And still keep your sanity and everything for the most part intact and still be as present as you can with your kids and all of that. But if you don't have all of that help to help support you in that hustle, and primarily all of the family responsibilities and home life really falls on you, honey boo boo, you might have to stop listening and watching all this boss babe stuff and really focus on just being present and enjoying this season of motherhood that you're in, right? And unapologetically and without the guilt or the shame. You are an ambitious woman and you are a very strong woman, right? You're just not in that season to where you can really hustle and grind right now, because the time that we have with our children when they're younger and to create all these memories and all these things for them, we can't get that back. But your hustle and grind, God gave that to you from birth. Okay. That's not going nowhere. You know how to tap into that when it's that time. And honey, when it's that time and the kids are a little bit older or you got a little bit more help, put pedal to the metal and make it happen. Okay. That's okay. Right. Again, this is your choice, right? This is your choice on how you choose to end the year strong. So, and I want to give you guys this verse to kind of take with you. And this is Ecclesiastes 3:1. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, right? This is so important and it kind of helps you keep some things in perspective, right? There's seasons of regular life. There's the seasons as in the weather, and then the seasons of motherhood, and there's the seasons of entrepreneurship. There's the seasons of marriage. There's seasons, right? It's up to you to really assess and compare which season you're currently in, right? Pause and reflect on how you've navigated this current season of life that you're in, right? In comparison to where you want to go. Celebrate all of the things and what you've been able to accomplish, and then make that choice and pivot where you want to go and how you want to continue on this season of life until you get into the next season, right? Because depending where you're at, you might also be in a waiting season to where you might feel like you're in survival mode because you're just trying to make it day by day and stay focused and try to stay positive, and that's okay, right? Again, wherever you're currently at, remember this: there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens, right? Do not discount this season of life that you're in, whether you're in the valley or at the mountaintop, everything has its purpose and every season happens for a reason. Okay. And so enjoy that, embrace that. And if you want, definitely go ahead and pull your journals out and reflect on that. Okay. Just really ask yourself, where am I at? Ask God, Lord, I don't know where I'm at right now. I'm just kind of floating. I need guidance and direction. Or this is that great opportunity to if you're going to choose to hit the pause and reflect button for the next 60 days, take this opportunity to do what I like to call is a lifestyle audit. This is one of my favorite things to do with clients, my one-on-one clients as well as group coaching clients, because most people are operating in a survival mentality, right? And scarcity mindset. They're operating on what they got to do right now, right now, right now, to where they don't even allow themselves to think ahead and say, okay, let me stop the right now because everything don't need me right now. But let me look at what is really happening, right? This is why lifestyle audits are so important. You need to really take the time to pause and look at everything and be like, okay, I've been trying to push through, but all this pushing through, I was ignoring the truth. I was ignoring the current reality and circumstances, right? I'm going to get where I'm going to go because I know that's where I'm going. But I got to fix a couple of things so that way now I can walk in alignment and things start to move a little smoother, move a little better. Or maybe I could switch my focus instead of from here to there, but it's all still to help me get to where I need to go, right? A lifestyle audit is so important because you cannot know where you're going if you don't know where you're at, right? Like, or maybe let me rephrase that. You cannot know how to get to where you want to go if you do not know where you're at, right? We can all put a destination into Google Maps, but depending on where you at in the globe, the road to get there is going to be very different and take a longer time or a shorter time, right? It just depends. So you need to have a start and really assess where you're currently at, as well as the destination to get you there. All right, you guys. So I really enjoyed today. Thank you guys so much for coming on live with me and just connecting with me and catching up. And if you guys have any questions or if you're interested in working with me one-to-one, getting a couple of life coaching or wellness coaching sessions, you can definitely go to my website. I'll type it here for you guys just so you can see it. You can go to planherwaytofit.com. It's very simple, but for you guys, I will make sure I put that in here as a banner so you guys can see it in the video. But as we are kind of closing things out, I just wanted to share again, like, this is that great opportunity. It's November 15th. We're literally in the middle of the month, right? Literally in the middle of the month. And personally for me, where I've kind of been at is trying to figure out how to get back into the consistency of showing up unapologetically and boldly on social media nowadays. Things have changed in the last year, and all of the algorithms, all of the stuff has gotten kind of overwhelming, right? It's like there's so much going on, and it's like between trying to figure that part out for business wise and all of that engagement and community building, all of those things, as well as trying to manage home and family life. It's been like, yo, I chose family. I have unapologetically chose family in this season, and I'm grateful for it because now where I'm at is I can really focus on unapologetically moving forward and transitioning into being able to just gradually build myself into coming back on here and connecting with you guys. And that sometimes can be a little hard. And like some of the tips and things that I shared with you guys, you can feel like, dude, especially if you've been in this space or if you had a great season earlier and then life was just lifing and then you had to stop trying to get back on, the devil will definitely try to get you to believe like you failed, nobody wants to talk to you, and all of these types of things, right? That's just natural. It's natural. But just remember one thing is maybe it's not about starting over. Maybe it's just starting again, right? Like you can pick up exactly where you left off. You don't have to start fresh. You don't got to worry about all of the bells and whistles. You don't got to worry about making everything perfect. The best thing you could do for yourself is just show up and start again. And then as you build that momentum up, then you can start adding all the bells and whistles and trying extra things, right? Because there's always going to be the next best thing. There's always going to be another goal. There's always going to be something else, right? And everybody is in their own space, their own runway, their own journey. So don't compare yourself to anybody else except yourself, and be present where you're at and being okay with that. So, but yeah, guys, that is my cup of tea for y'all today. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's conversation, and I will be hanging out with you guys again tomorrow live. And I did see there was a comment from it says KS. I would love to know your full name, but hi, love. I see you. Give you a shout out real quick. But yeah, you guys, again, I really enjoyed connecting with you guys today, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day on this beautiful Wellness Wednesday. The sun is starting to peek out a little bit for me, and I hope the sun is starting to come out in your area or your neck of the woods. Like, I forgot what the newscast guy's name was. Oh, okay, Katharina. Hi, I love it. But yeah, I hope the sun is coming out. And if you're feeling a little gloomy, I hope today's conversation gave you a little bit of light to help you shine a little bit more. All right. Talk to you guys later. Don't forget, if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you drop them below and connect with me on my website or anywhere on my social media and YouTube. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Bye.